Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 31st of July, 2025, Thursday. Friends late opening at Elmley, that's why I'm here. Two reasons: I haven't been to a late opening for a while. It's raining on and off, so I need my car as a hide. And there's some action down here. And I want to do a lot of videoing for footage for my library. And there's been reports of kingfishers, barn owls. I've just been playing cat and mouse with a green woodpecker. Very surprising. It jumped off of this fence on the way down to the gun club. And I got some handheld footage on a fence before I got out and got my tripod and spotted it on a distant post in a lot of heat haze. But nice surprise to see a green woodpecker. I saw them back in 2020 when I first started getting into birding over by the prison. So this island's good for them. Out before the bridge, did a brief stop there for some water pipit having baths in the pond. I've got some barn swallows up on a branch here, which is nice because usually they're only on wires, but it was handheld, unfortunately. Then I also got some goldfinch. I spooked those, unfortunately, from some plants over there, and a robin came out and scared everything away. A bit of a grim-looking robin. I don't know if it was an adult that was still feeding some chicks and it hadn't had time to preen. But that scared them off. It's very territorial, robins. They're really beast mode kind of birds. I remember back in lockdown when I put food out, they'd chase off wood pigeons. They're bad. Now, what else was there? So there's been reports here, barn owls, kingfishers, hobbies, very exciting. I'm going to use the track for a hide. My cab is a hide on the track. I'm jumping in between rain clouds. I'm using the Home and Dry app to check for gaps in the rain. And once I get about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm going to get down to the well marsh. If I can't get a gap, then I'll go down at maybe 6 or 7. There's definitely not going to be any rain at that time of night. So today it's going to be just watching the rain every hour and a half. I think I've caught up. I mean, there's so many barn swallows and sand martins flitting along this path, and I'm hoping to break the dot sight out of the well marsh to get some skimming over the water. Exciting, yeah, because I haven't taken any pictures in a while, and I need the dot sight for that. Apart from that, what are these fish? The carps? In the pond on the right hand side of the road as you come in, sticking out of the water like that. Crazy. I don't know what. There must be really good feeding in the mud. Maybe because it's so shallow, the mud is easier to get to, or they can, I don't know, push down into the mud. But are they trapped? Is the water level too low? Because I'm sure it's deeper around the corner. But for now, I've seen a kestrel, no other harriers or anything at the moment until I get further in. But so far, yeah, there's just lots of barn swallows flying around here, all the juveniles. Very exciting so far. I know it's going to be a really long, great day. So we just did a round, waiting for the rain cloud to go. That's it there, going off to the east. And then we've got a nice clear patch coming in from the west. And that should mean a walk to the hide is on the cards now. So yeah, it just literally stopped coming down. And I can see on the map as well, confirming everything's good. But of course, I've used the Home and Dry app to make sure I've got about 2 hours. So I'm going to kit up, get everything done, toilet, ponchos, everything, tripod, get my boots on, my wet trousers on just in case, and get down to the hides. It's been a while since I've been down there because I checked the socials, I checked the WhatsApp group. If there's nothing going on, I'm not walking that 1.25 miles. But on the track, at the beginning, as usual, I was stopped by these swallows again, always doing circuits of the cab. They're attracted to the cab again. I don't know why, if it's because I'm disturbing bugs in the road, or they're using some sort of slipstream that's around the cab for something to hover better. I don't know. But a couple landed on the ground, and as I was going in to take some video, I saw a yellow bird and they had a scuffle. And I was really like, it was so grey, there was no way I was getting a photo. But it would have been a scuffle between a yellow wagtail and a swallow. That would have been an epic photo. I did set up for photos. I'd have to go up to 6400 ISO because there was a couple of times it happened again, but that was it. The rain came in and I was being soaked through the window, so I had to give up. But the yellow wagtails, there were several feeding by the cattle. Look at this footage. They were getting right up close to that bull. It knew the bull was no threat whatsoever. And you could, I mean, I'll have to check the audio when I get in. There's a lot of rain. I might not use a lot of the audio that's in the clip because of the rain clipping on the hitting the back of the cab. And it's just going to, I might include it because what I want to include is the sound of the cow ripping the grass out of the ground. You can really feel it under your feet. It really, yeah, obviously the grass, the roots go really deep down, and the power of this bull. But these juvenile wagtails, I assume all of the adults have gone. I did see a very yellow one back there briefly, which was chirping, but most of the juveniles here, and remember I was over at Hearty Ferry in my last vlog, and they were eating around the horses. So yeah, let's get back to nothing going on out here. It might start coming out now the rain's over. I just watched some kestrels. There's one hunting there, sitting on posts, waiting for the rain to stop. So they obviously don't like the rain, and now they're out quickly, looking for some rodents. And yeah, so we'll get on the path and we'll see if there's anything happening along the path worth mentioning. Oh, the schoolhouse provided a bit of drama just then. Missed opportunities, annoyingly. 2 little owls, looks like juveniles. They were quite inquisitive, jumping about the place. I had to keep resetting my tripod to capture them. So I filmed probably for 7 or 8 minutes in batches, waiting for them to preen in between gusts of wind. And the wind isn't too strong, but it just takes a light one to sort of ruin the video. So I should be able to extract a good sort of 45 seconds to a minute out of all of that. And I started off by the gate, filmed from a distance. And I was filming for a while, and then some people walked up, stepped right out without doing it slowly. And the birds flew away into the tree. So, I mean, I've got my fill, but they missed their opportunity. And they walked off down to the river, and eventually the owls came out again. And the annoying thing was, I was fixated on the little owls, and I thought I'd have a look around while I was recording with my bins, the rest of the schoolhouse, for any other, there might be 3 or 4 little owls. And I saw a sort of beige patch blob on the left. I thought, what is that? Is that a bit of rubbish or something? And it turned its head. It was a barn owl. And I no, I couldn't, my camera was fixed in position. And by the time I changed it, it went into this gap in the bricks. So had it been there all this time, and by the second I turned my camera on it, it went in? Surely not. Did it come out and then went back in after a few seconds? So annoying. Anyway, so I got loads of video of the little owls, much as I could, and then another group came along and was standing there. I was keeping my distance, waiting to see if the barn owl would come out, because I know I'm just walking back to the cab now because I've been watching Home and Dry like a hawk, pardon the pun, and the rain is predicted in about 5 minutes, so I'm just getting ahead of it. And I am 99.9% certain a cuckoo flew into the tree behind the schoolhouse, and the other lot, they saw it as well. Everyone was kind of, keeping hush-hush, like, did we see that? Because they want to be the ones to get it. So went over and looked at my bins, they looked and we couldn't see anything. It wasn't calling, but I don't think we have any cuckoos here. I think all the birds in the UK at the moment that are migrant birds are juveniles. So this might have been a juvenile, not calling, but flying around. I mean, they are dark birds in general, but this one looked particularly dark. So I think if you see pictures of juvenile cuckoos, which I've never seen, they are quite dark striped, which against the grey sky like this is going to make them look more dark. So barn owl, cuckoos and little owls, very good so far. Maybe if there's another gap in the, I think, no, after this, it will be this bit of rain. In about an hour's time, it will be Wellmarsh Hyde, and then come back and there should be owls floating around, flying around. The last time I was here, I got them at the entrance track about 8:30. So by the time I finish down at Wellmarsh, we should have some hunting going on, because I imagine if there's rain, and there's been lots of rain, they won't be hunting during that. So as soon as the rain stops, they'll be out, fingers crossed. But that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. 2 little owls, pretty decent footage of those. And we've still got a few hours yet. Yeah, so I've missed so many things today. I got them for a fraction of a second, like the barn owl, but didn't get enough time for a photo or video. And then there was the cuckoo. And when I came out onto the track through the tree line, I was drinking my flask of tea. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a hedgehog going into the grass, slammed on the brakes, reversed, but it was gone in. And I waited there for about 20 minutes, hoping it might scuttle through the grass and across the road. Unfortunately not. So I'm getting some good stuff today, but just not getting it on camera or video. But I just had a really good time on the track. I've made a completely separate vlog about it. I put my dot sight on my camera. I keep meaning to do this, but I wondered if it was going to work. I've said it on the other vlogs. I've been looking at barn swallows flying past the cab and wondered, could I somehow get photos of these? I mean, I could stick my phone out the window and film them and say, you look at these barn swallows, they seem to enjoy using the cab as a sort of shield, or insects being disturbed off of the road, I don't know. But if only I could take a picture. I thought, you know what, let's do it. So I stuck the dot sight on, went all the way back to 200 millimeters, f6.3, usually I'm working at f8. And this is why I like the zoom range. You couldn't have done this with this 500, a 600, or 800 millimeter lens fixed to prime. This is why, even though this is a basic lens, not an L lens, it does stuff that L lenses can't do. And I've just done like I said, I did a separate vlog about it, but I've got some of my best barn swallow photos. Look at these. I've not cleaned them up yet, but I already know they're fantastic, and you're seeing them. Some of these are almost frame filling. I mean, I cannot believe how much fun that was. When I get up to the top here, I'm going to try for some more, so you might see some more in a minute. But yeah, I need to get some swifts and some house martins and sand martins. Yeah, but I need the background. I don't want them against the whiteout sky. I need the perfect conditions to get them. But so much fun. Those are really hard birds to get, and I didn't even know I needed the dot sight until I got it, and it's just been an invaluable tool to get me photos I'd never get otherwise. So like I said, if I get any more, I'll tag them on later on into the vlog. Well, I better finish off this vlog before there's no more light. From what was looking like a really dull end to the day, well, I say it kicked off. Yeah, it pretty much kicked off. I got one of my best ever moments. Right, how far back should I go? You know what? Nothing much happened. I was just using the dot sight to photograph swifts and swallows coming up the track from the old schoolhouse. Nothing happened at Brickfields. Did see the little owl again, but right, okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. There are some. Sorry, I'm back. I just had to drop the camera. There looked like some sort of a scuffle between some hobbies, maybe, because look, I'm getting to the point. I saw a hobby. Where was I? Sorry, it's been madness the last half an hour. I've been looking for the barn owl. Nothing else happened at the end of the day. Elmley was a blowout at the end. And then I thought I'll come and look for the owl like I saw last time on this field outside the main entrance. And I came down to the gun club, and on one of the cages there was a bird that I didn't recognize. I thought it's too small to be a pigeon, dark on the outside, grey on the inside. I thought, what is that? Part of my brain thought it was the juvenile cuckoo that I'd seen over at the old schoolhouse. But I was like, no, it can't. You're not that lucky. But it was just, why wasn't it moving? Why wasn't it flying? Why wasn't it scared? Why is it a weird shape? Why is it perched there this time of night? I've got my camera on it. I flicked to the custom function 2, which I save for low light stills. And I got off some shots. I quickly went as low as I could with a shutter speed, about 1/100th, to get down to about 1250, 1600 ISO to get the best quality. Got some shots of it. Looked like it was sitting still, and I broke my rule. I should have handheld some footage first, but I snuck out, looked over, it was still there, went to the back where I've got my tripod still out, opened the back door, was scrunched down. I was going to film through the 2 windows, looked up and it was gone, and I've been searching for it, but I did see it fly, so it is still about. Wow, so it was just, and it came out crisp, really sharp. I mean, that's like one of those moments I'm going to remember forever. I've never got a cuckoo that close, and even better to have the juvenile, because it looks a bit cool. I've never seen a juvenile cuckoo. Wow, just anyway. And so what happened was I came down looking for it, and there was a raptor took off, and I thought, what was that? And then I saw it to the left of me eating something in its claws, and I thought, that's a hobby, isn't it? It's the only thing that eats like that. And sure, whoops, sorry, a bit of tree there. I noticed there were loads of dragonflies along the road here. So of course, that's perfect place for them to hunt. I thought I was hitting small birds. These dragonflies are so big. And I went up and down the path looking for this hobby, and it's proper gone. And I think that might have been it. I tried to film it in slow-mo. 2 birds went off in the distance. They sort of came together, and then one flew off that way. But it's well out of sight. It's been madness trying to do my podcast, do the vlog. I did another vlog in between, as you're aware, the one on the dot sight and the swallows. which is going to make a nice little vlog. I can't wait to get working on those pictures, edit them up so they look really mwah. Yeah, it turned out to be a nice start to the day with the green woodpecker, the swallows, and then this. Just never lets me down. Sometimes it makes me wait to the last dying second. Wow, I hope you enjoy that, folks. Just, it's going on my thumbnail. That's cuckoo for sure. Yeah. See you next time.